Hello there. So, welcome. And this is our first ever wine chat for Passel Estate. Normally, of course, we'd be sharing our wines with you in our beautiful tasting room in Margaret River, but whilst that's closed and many of us are stuck at lockdown in home, we thought it'd be nice to share a glass of you online on this medium, talk a little bit about why we make it, how we like to drink it, and obviously anything else you'd like to ask us and chat about, please use the comments box, add us a comment, we'll try and answer it. It's my first live stream ever, so I'll do my best. We'll see how it goes, but I think I know how to answer a comment live. And I look forward to sharing some of our wine love with you all. I'm Wendy, this is Barry, and we're the owners and founders of Passel Estate in Margaret River.
And this is also my first live stream, so forgive us if it's not as slick as it might become by the time we get to the Cabernet or the Shiraz in a few weeks' time. Today we're trying the favourite of the whites for me, which is our Sauvignon Blanc, and we're trying the 2018. And part of the reason for that is that tomorrow is International Sauvignon Blanc Day, so it seemed like an appropriate day to try it. And please let us know what you're drinking. Hopefully you may be trying a bit of this at home while we talk a little bit about the wine itself, but also a little bit about Margaret River and about 2018 as a vintage. So Sauvignon Blanc is a classic varietal for Margaret River as a region, although normally it's blended with Semillon, which is also a grape that does incredibly well down in Margaret River. So very often as you taste around the tasting rooms of Margaret River, you will see what we would call an SBS, which would be a Sauvignon Blanc Semillon, or an SSB, so a Semillon Sauvignon Blanc. And the only reason for changing around the letters is which is the dominant grape in the blend. Ours is a little different. It is a very pure expression, like all of our wines, and all of our wines are single varietal and single vineyard. So it is 100% Sauvignon Blanc. Do you want to tell
me to tell a little more? Okay, so I think Barry touched on this being the 2018, a fantastic vintage for Margaret River. It was we had some early rains to really freshen up the vines, and then a really gentle, steady growing season. So 2018 produced some really beautiful, fragrant fruit in Margaret River, and I think this is really apparent in this 2018 Sauvignon Blanc. So I don't know if you're drinking it, and please let us know in the comments what you're drinking and what you smell if you're drinking this. But to me, there's a real passion fruit on the nose, and it's really, really quite fruit forward. And that's partly because of that beautiful, beautiful vintage. And actually, one of the things that we do at Passel Estate is allow our Sauvignon Blanc to hang to absolute ripeness, a little bit riper perhaps than maybe some other producers, because we're really trying to look for a fruit-forward style, and we want it to really express, the beauty of the region and the terroir in Margaret River. And so I guess, Barry, do you want to talk a little bit more about how we achieve some balance in this?
Yeah, sure. And just to pick up on that, one of the real hallmarks of our Sauvignon Blanc that most people pick up, unsurprisingly, the first thing they pick up with it is the nose. It's a very pungent, fruity nose to the wine, and that's been the case ever since we started to produce it. So it's really an outstanding, almost a fruit bomb on the nose before you even start to taste the wine. So it's a lovely lead-in to the wine. And really, that's just an expression of, as Wendy was saying, about how the fruit is grown. The fact that it's probably a little bit riper than you would expect from the classic Marlborough New Zealand Sauvignon Blancs, which are certainly more cut grass or steer and more acidic.
But still lovely.
But still lovely, yeah. And similarly, actually, the Rhone ones as well, and probably the ones from Sancerre. Although, like many of the wines from Sancerre, ours is a little different from most in Margaret River, in that we do actually use oak in the making of the wine. So about 20% of the fruit goes into new French oak barrels, which are then used for Chardonnay. And it will do its fermentation in the oak barrels before then it joins its siblings, the other 80%, in the steel tanks to complete its time in tank before it goes to bottle. So it certainly has more structure, and that's really what we're looking for. We're trying to create that balance between amazing structure and amazing fruit, but still great freshness, crispness, and acidity. And that's really where sort of those concepts aligning is where we were looking to be with this particular wine. And we'd like to think that we achieved that certainly in 17 and in 18.
Actually, I'm glad you mentioned the 17, and please, guys, do comment. I'd love to know. I can see lots of likes and hearts, which is lovely. I'd love to see some comments, especially if you're drinking ours, but even if you're drinking somebody else's, just love to see what you're drinking and what you're finding with your Sauvignon Blanc. But in the meantime, as Barry said, because of that little bit of gentle oak treatment, we really have, I think, produced a really balanced Sauvignon Blanc. It appeals to the people like my husband, who really love the grassy, herby, acidic style, but it also appeals to me, and secretly, I'm more of a Chardonnay girl, but I absolutely love this. This Sauvignon Blanc is balanced and solid enough to really hold its own with all sorts of beautiful foods, and even on its own, it's still fresh and light. And so going back to the 2017, a lot of people, of course, drink their Sauvignon Blanc very young. I'm sure many of our wonderful peers in Margaret River have probably launched their 2019 Sauvignon Blanc, and we're talking to you about our 2018 because this is peak drinking for ours. And it's partly because of that little bit of oak structure, giving those savoury notes, and they continue to grow and develop, of course, with a bit more time in bottle. So what was really exciting the other night when Barry and I opened one of our 2017 Sauvignon Blancs was to discover that it's still absolutely fruity and beautiful on the nose. All those flavours we've just been talking about, still right there, still really fresh and acidic, but just a little bit more of the nutty savoury notes coming through with that bit of extra time. So to me, it was absolutely incredible. So this is really nice. It's a Sauvignon Blanc that you can enjoy now. Oh, thank you. And I can see, I don't know if it's come up on the screen. I think it has. I've tried to put it on the screen. One of you is drinking one of our lovely Sauvignon Blancs now. Thank you so much, Stefan. That's great. So this one, you can drink it now and thoroughly enjoy it. But don't worry if you've got a bit over it, excited and bought too many cases and you have some left in coming years, it's just going to get better and better, I think, within reason. So yeah, really, really, really lovely.
Yeah,
even for someone who's not normally a Sauvignon Blanc preference.
Yeah, I mean, what amazed me about the 17 was even now that it's still got that fruit bomb on the nose. It's still as fresh as it was, but there's certainly something more to it now than there was a year ago in terms of that oak starting to really come to the forefront a little bit more than it did when it first went into bottle. So it's drinking beautifully, but it's still a lovely fresh wine. And in terms of what you'd want to drink this with if you were pairing it with food, whether it's the 17 or the 18, for me it's really it screams out at grilled seafood and fish. It's just stunning with those very clean flavors that you get from prawns or even from marron or from crayfish.
Yeah, marron. We're from Margaret River. We should be talking about marron. Beautiful little
I do get crayfish in Margaret River too.
I actually like it on its own, but I like a lot of my wine on its own. It's such an easy drink to enjoy, take the edge off the day whilst you're perhaps cooking or watching your husband cook, as I tend to be. It's beautiful for that. It's also lovely with a bit of cheese. Those of you that have visited Passel Estate know that we do a cheese pairing, and I think we pair this with a camembert.
It's the Cambrai camembert, which is a really mild, creamy camembert, and it just there's a little bit of creaminess and the lovely crispness and the acid in the Sauvignon Blanc really does cut through that really beautifully. So it's a lovely pairing.
And I was going to say oysters. I love the oysters. This with some oysters and a sunny evening, nothing better. Well, actually, slightly better. Barry does make, when I'm very lucky, a buttered poached oyster, which is my favourite thing in the world. He doesn't make it unless it's my birthday or Christmas. But when he makes that, this is really perfect to go with that too. Stefan, you've been asking, I can see, if we have any of the 2017 on offer. I think we have sold out in Australia. There is still a little bit in Singapore for any of our Singapore friends watching it. But if you email tastingroom@passelestate.com, we'll see what we've got and we can if we've got any, we'll get it to you.
I have a secret stash still.
But we're locked down right now in Singapore, sadly, desperate to get back to home and back to the vineyard. So yes, and Rob, thank you for commenting on Bruce. Bruce, our winemaker, his work is great. We should give him a cheers, actually. Bruce Dukes and Remy Guys are winemakers, obviously. We've been working with them from the get-go, share our philosophy on what we're trying to achieve with the Passel Estate wines. We really want them to be very evocative of the grapes and the vines, and they do just that, and this is a perfect example of their fine work. So thank you for mentioning him, Rob. Appreciate it.
Yeah, Bruce, we see, I think we're kindred spirits in a way that we see eye to eye on Bruce from the very, very start in terms of what we wanted the wines to be like and what we were looking to try and produce. I mean, obviously trying to produce really outstanding wines, and that starts with outstanding fruit. And so it was Bruce who really introduced us to our farming team, and to Andy Ferreira and those guys, and they do an amazing job in the vineyard. Whether that's on really, really good years like 18, which was just an outstanding year, but not that difficult in the vineyard, although Andy says every year is difficult in the vineyard. Most farmers are like that, I think.
He's right. Lots of
and also years like 17, which were tougher. There's no doubt about that, and 19 too. But consistently, they're producing great fruit for us, and that's giving Bruce and Remy the tools that they need to do to produce great wine like this.
Oh, and Karen, Will and Karen are enjoying our 2008 Sauv Blanc as well, and theirs is with a Tasmanian Brie platter. Nice. That's a
stunning.
Nice pairing. Beautiful.
Lovely, yeah.
Beautiful. So what else? I mean, keep the comments coming so we can keep responding to them. Thank you very much. In terms of this Sauvignon Blanc, I don't know what else to say apart from the fact that it's lovely and yummy. It's done pretty well in terms of critics. They seem to like it too. We've got a good 90 plus points from Wine Advocate, Halliday, and so on. Of course, with the lockdown, a few of the wine shows are not going ahead this year, so we're probably not going to be able to see the results we might have hoped to have seen putting it in the shows. But I don't think we need to. Just enjoy it and drink it. It's lovely. And I can see Lisa. Hi, thanks for joining us as well, Lisa. She said she's drinking a Passel Estate Cabernet by the fire because it's a bit chilly down in Margaret River as well. Well, I mean, it's chilly here. We're in Singapore, but we have a storm going on outside. So I was expecting a sunny, tropical live stream for you, which this wine is perfect for. But I have to say, even with the chilly weather, and I think it must be the oak, the fact that we have the oak and it's a little bit more structured, arguably, than some of the lighter styles, it's going down perfectly well, even with a bit of a chill in the air. So hopefully you'll agree. Maybe what kind of warm, savoury things would you pair with this? Maybe some baked camembert.
Yeah, I quite like the idea of that creamy brie, I have to say. I don't think I go off and get some. But yes, definitely any kind of soft cheeses, it's just a beautiful drink to have with that. Because it does pair really well with that creaminess, and I think maybe that's a little bit of the oak in there as well. But it's also it's just got great acidity and great citrus notes to it. It's just a beautiful pairing in terms of soft cheese like brie or camembert.
And Stefan's keen to know more about the stacks we have here in Singapore of our 2017 Sauvignon Blanc. In Singapore, he's asking what does it cost and what's the minimum order. So, happily, because we have such close personal links with Singapore as well as Margaret River, we do, as many of you will know, bring it door to door into Singapore as well. And our Singapore Wine Club members and friends and buyers are a huge part of the Passel Estate family. So in Singapore, you can buy this, go online, and we'll deliver it to you first thing tomorrow morning. If you order it today, it's that easy. It's Singapore dollars 45 per bottle. That's before a wine club discount. Actually, we have a Mother's Day discount right now, so there's 10% off of that at the moment for Mother's Day, and it's free delivery if you buy 6 bottles or more. And I've just given you the pricing for the 2018, but you know what? I'll honour it for the 2017 we have. If you send me an email, you can't get it online. Actually, you'll have to send me the email. Tastingroom@passelestate.com or Wendy@passelestate.com, and we'll sort that out for you. So, I mean, I've also been told we shouldn't spend too long having this chat. The optimal time is about 3 minutes away, I think. So, don't want to bore you senseless. And loving the hearts, thank you. That's so nice of you all to tune in. We will get better at this. We are going to buy some gadgets. We've tried to buy gadgets, but Singapore is locked down. The shops are closed. I did order, some lights and some microphones online. They haven't arrived. We'll practice. We'll get better. But please, in the comments, also let us know what you'd like to see us chatting about in future episodes. We do plan to do this again, same time next week. We'll probably open one of our lovely red wines. But let us know what you'd like to see or drink with us. Most of you are probably already following us, but we do also have a mailing list. You can go onto our website, www.passelestate.com, if you want to follow us and learn a bit more about our beautiful wines and some of the other things we do at the vineyard. David has commented on the fact that we've got a beehive moving in soon. We do a lot of conservation at the vineyard. We rescue possums, as you may have seen recently on Channel 10, and the beehive is another part of that that's coming soon. I guess we'll wrap up. Hopefully see you the same time next week. Hopefully we'll be a bit slicker.
So what is next?
We don't know yet. A red wine next, but we're going to see if anybody in the comments suggests. Stefan's suggesting Chardonnay. I'm saving that for a bit later on in May when it's International Chardonnay Day. So Stefan will be doing that one, I think, on the 21st of May, which happens to be a Thursday. So definitely a red wine next week. And as we progress, we might try and do more interesting things as well. Maybe some verticals and other chats. So thank you so much for joining us and encouraging us today for our first time. Really grateful. Enjoy the rest of your evening. Enjoy the rest of your wine. Thank you, those of you that are enjoying Passel Estate wine, but there's so many beautiful wines out there. I'm sure all of you are drinking something special. And we'll look forward to catching up again soon.
Yeah, have a great evening, everybody, and enjoy.
Cheers.